Hello, testing our live stream for the closing ceremony. Hello, everyone. Welcome. We're testing technology before we get started, although it is 2:22 now. We are opening the sacred space. And welcome everyone to this sacred space, this moment. Marcia, I don't see your... There you are.
Yay! Hello, dear sisters. Many blessings.
Many blessings. So
we are live, huh?
We are live streaming in the Kiva Publishing Vortex. Thanks to Shannon Vandenberg and the team for facilitating that. Oh, and thank you. Thank you for being here with us on this journey, this birthing journey. We are here today to celebrate and bless this birth and close the space of our book club journey together during this launch. So we have a very special, I was going to say agenda, but it's going to be an intuitive womb awakening flow, as we are three sisters who studied with Saren and Azra Bertrand and womb awakening and keepers of womb wisdom, which is such a sacred blessing to be able to share this journey together. And when these sisters suggested joining in the closing ceremony, I had to adjust, the ego mind that had an idea about what I was going to do for the ceremony, and really listen to those Magdalene codes and open to have this closing ceremony as a co-weaving. This is what is being called for, to anchor this collaborative, healed sisterhood that is regenerative, that brings new life into the world in a beautiful way that is supportive of all life. And so we begin here celebrating Magdalene Codes. I have my book in hand.
I don't have my copy yet, but yay!
And we have we'll be weaving back and forth between the three of us and opening and closing together. So if you don't already, be sure to, if you want to do this live with us, otherwise come back and do it again on your own. A ceremonial bowl of oil can be rose water, rose oil, or just connecting intuitively with the frequency of the rose. We're going to be doing an anointing at some point in the ceremony. And yeah, I just wanted to say that right at the top so that you are ready for that when we get to it. So let us begin. Are we ready?
Yeah, Anna, let me just say this. I think I also mentioned for people to bring some water. That way we can just bless this water and later drink it, or water, give an offering to the earth, or make a bath with it, or give to our loved ones. So if you have a glass of water, a bowl of water, that'll be amazing, because then the water gets attuned to our words or the energy field, and then we can use it and bless it and have it.
Yes,
a little bit of our ceremony in the water.
Thank you for that reminder. And it's so appropriate and important to have that balancing when we have so much Magdalene fire to bring in her waters. And I actually was going to remember, you reminded me, I want to post in my masterclass as well, when we had worked with water and put those blessings in it, I wanted to remind everyone to drink from it or take it and offer it to the land and the ancestors as well. So thank you for that reminder. All right, we are going to begin with Nicole opening this space for us. Oh, you are muted, Nicole.
Thank you, Diana. Thank you, Marcia, for the reminder of the water and the rose. So I want to invite you to close your eyes for a moment as I open this container, the sacred space, together with my sisters, together with all the women before us that have walked this path of remembrance, that have weaved the red threads and golden threads, all the threads back into the feminine tapestry. I'm speaking at this moment from the sacred land of Sin, the goddess, god of the moon, Sinai Peninsula here in Egypt, and I am feeling all that this land holds, all meaning the paradoxical, the good, the bad, the beautiful, the ugly. And if you've been to Egypt, you will know what I'm speaking. So I'm calling the ancestors of the sacred land. I am calling Sekhmet, Bastet, Hathor. I am calling Ishtar, Inanna. I am calling Mary Magdalene. I'm calling the ancient grandmothers, the foremothers. I am calling the forefathers, the ones that knew the way of love and weave together with the sacred feminine. I am calling my ancestors, and I'm inviting you to tune into your ancestors as well, to tune into the land where you find yourself in at this moment. By breathing into the soles of your feet, so taking a moment just to connect with the soles of your feet and to the ground below you, to the sacred land where you find yourself, and feeling into the ancestors of the land. And that means not only the human ancestors, but as well as the rocks, the flowers, the trees, the crystals, the waters, all our relations. So let's just take a moment to feel into those ancestors that are blood ancestors, but also the ones that have been here before us. Let us feel for a moment all that have been weaved before we came here right now in this exact moment. Feeling into the sole of our feet, but as well as into our heart and wombs or haras, if any men will tune in to this live or replay, and just feeling into the ground below. Because to me, that's really where she dwells, the Great Mother. She's above, but ultimately she's below us, holding, sustaining, providing. So let's just take a few more breaths here, honoring the fiercely fire from the center of the earth, the magma, the lava that destroys but also creates. Let us also tune into the waters of the inner earth, from within the earth, not only in the surface, but inside the earth. Feeling into this dance of water and magma. And feeling into this dance that happens within us. Dance of sacred union, of masculine and feminine, fire and water, spirit and matter, here, now, in the body, on the earth. And with that, we open this container for our closing, but opening, because all that closes, it opens, and all that opens, it closes. So with this paradoxical, beautiful dance, I open this container. Thank you.
Thank you, Ishtara. And I'm going to readjust our order a little bit. I feel it would be beautiful in this moment to do the naming and calling of what we are honoring and celebrating. And I invite you who are listening to drop that in the comment as well. And for us, this moment to name, to continue with the three of us to anchor these codes and name, the waters of the feminine dimension, flames of sacrifice, just allowing your voice, Nicole and Marcia, to weave this opening. And all of you in your energies to weave this anchoring as well in the comments if you feel called to, or just to voice it out loud at home. Oracle of Sekhmet. Sovereign boundaries, just allowing it to flow as it comes.
The lineage of the rose. Pearls of wisdom. Sacred sensual pleasure. Sweetness, crystal light, embodied power.
The ecstasy of sensual pleasure, of smells, of scents of the rose, of this embodied life.
The soul doula, death doula, the birth doula.
Melting in the embrace of love, dissolving into the arms of Great Mother.
Yes, the mother, the sisters, the circle of feminine essence, the dance of life within red tents, permeating, rippling out into the world.
And our sacred blood, may it now goes into the earth, fulfilling the Lakota prophecy that says that when women give their blood to the earth, men won't have to shed their blood into war.
And Anka says sacred peace and deep surrender of the heart.
The holding hands of women and men, remembering that in union lies the soft power of our creative birthing abilities.
And may this joint effort of 30 hands or 30 pair of hands writing these codes, offering into the world, sharing vulnerable and powerful stories, recreate a new story for our children, for the ones that will come after us. May we leave this medicine, this legacy to those who will inhabit the earth, so they will know that there is a way that we can choose to live in this place, in this earth, in reverence, in devotion, as a sacred space for us to grow and evolve.
Aho. And Simone says, sacred connection to our celestial ancestors and divine wisdom of the ancient ones. Anka adds, pure love of feminine and masculine Christ be reborn and blossom on earth through us.
May this book awaken in men and women their Magdalene gifts, their Magdalene codes, so they can too be one, be at one with the rose, smell the rose, and follow this path of love, having the courage to walk the peaks and the valleys, to live fully into the brightness and into the valleys, the darkness, understanding the darkness is not evil, is the fertile soil, is the lava, is the celestial human and earth womb that hold us all.
The sovereign voice, the sovereign boundaries, the sovereign integrity to that we know this liberation and the disruption sometimes is of what our perception or our ego mind or our personality may hold on to, but which may lead deeper into connection with this embodied spirit for the good of all life, not just our own. So welcoming all these frequencies that holds the keys of the Magdalene, dropping deeper and deeper each spiral into your own invocation, your own channeling of what comes up again and again on a daily basis, not just in this moment with this prayer, but listening to the Magdalene rising within us, constantly in communication within us. Nicole Marie Rose adds, the power of true love to create healthy, vibrant union, relationships to anchor the original templates of possibility for these human vehicles. Calling us to this beautiful space, Lucy Wills says, that we call for each other, for this community that we exist within the womb of all that is as one, not separate.
And may women find the fire, the strength to rise above the atrocities that still continue to unfold. And may men remember that it's through the body of a woman, through her sacred womb, that he comes into being. So I want to add, as I came across a very challenging story the last day from a client, I just want to add that may we be able to look into our own shadows and be able to bring the dazzling light of the darkness of the womb of the Black Madonna or the Great Mother and rise into our sovereign soft power. And as I was reminded today, that sometimes the sacred rage is what it's needed in order to bring into Ma'at, the cosmic harmony, the balance that it's necessary. So I pray and I weave this prayer in this land where I find myself and into the tapestry of life, that women find the strength that are guided by Great Mother to remember that they are sacred, that they shouldn't never accept to be treated in ways that still are unfolding.
And Nicole Marie Rose adds prosperity, liberation, freedom, the full expression of our souls on this planet. Isa Morales says the beauty of us all united, the surrender into our divinity, the union of Christ energy. And Anka adds, remembering the sisters that died in the fire. Amen to the sacred rage, the deep grief and alchemization of all that is released from centuries of blame, shame. And I will add in this moment, may our prayers weave with the prayers that were generated yesterday in my walk with the indigenous people of Turtle Island, uniting across nations to walk in remembrance of the missing and murdered and stolen women, children, and youth that continues, and the healing of hearts through time, through generations, and that continues in this moment. Behind me is an image of Maria Tant, an outspoken woman fighting for the rights of the Amazon, who was hit by a car over a year ago, and there has still not been an investigation. So the rise of the sacred rage and our power, our sovereign voice, that high Magdalene heart that allows the heat to rise and clear the way of blocks of fear from the times of burning and all the oppression of our voice, allowing this to be with the soft power and our thorns and our soft, beautiful rose petals and essence and the sweet smell that attracts the bees, that makes the honey, that nourishes and feeds life, and that protects life, and that works in an organized, collective way for the good of all, for the sweetness of life. Anchoring these codes.
I was about to call in the bees. So we are really connected in this field. The bees are those who pollinize the world and create fruit and honey and pollen and all this potent medicine of love, of sacred geometry, of living in community, living in collaboration, the queen that serves the all and not the one that judges or control all. So may we mirror this, be the hive, this amazing power animal here that comes to pollinize the rose and deliver these queen codes to us. Yesterday was the day of Saint Therese of Avila, and she is the mystic, the church doctor, the sage. She was the woman that walked with the bare foot, with the bare feet, communing with the earth. And she is the continuation of the Magdalene. She was the one who experienced the ecstasy of being, receiving this arrow of love into her heart. And yesterday was her day, and I'm welcoming here her power, because she is a continuation of Mary Magdalene that walked in this earth, on this earth as well. May we all remember that Magdalene is about ecstasy, ecstatic states, also reclaiming our sexuality in a most sacred, beautiful, and delicious way, where we can bless the earth with our sacred pleasure, with our orgasms, with feeling loved and safe and held and cared for, so we can truly unfold our own petals and become the open rose who will offer our scent our medicine to the world.
I feel called to name in that ecstatic pleasure rippling out, not just in the feeling of our orgasm in our body, but in the rising of the giving voice of that pleasure, of the sound reverberating, the keening moans of pleasure rippling out through vibratory, blessing our bodies and the world. Colleen adds, yes, pleasure so sacred, welcoming the power and beauty, wisdom owned by sexuality, both of Lilith, Anka adds. Ecstasy and pleasure, Nicole Marie Rose. And this is so beautiful. We did not plan this, but this co-weaving, inviting our sister co-authors and readers to co-create this blessing is so, so beautiful. So it feels right to extend this. Please keep adding.
Yes, I just want to add in all this juicy, sacred pleasure, ecstatic bliss that we are blessed to feel and experience. I just want to honor the women in Iran, the young women that are courageously fighting and raging out for an oppressive regime that meant to suppress this very pleasure, this very ecstatic beauty that will and is changing the world. So I just want to take a moment to honor the souls of all these women and men, because men as well, and this feels so important for what we are leaning like we're heading to with the solar eclipse in Scorpio. So all that, it's in the shadow, it's in the hidden, it's rising now to be seen and to be alchemized. And yes, it comes with destruction and suffering, but it brings new life as well. So I just want to honor the souls of the men and women that are fighting, they're raging out. And you know, the Iran to me is very dear, and I feel the fire of their ancient religion, which was a sun and fire religion. So just calling in again those waters of our sacred pleasure, of our juicy tears of bliss or grief, but also, you know, the pleasure of tasting something delicious, the pleasure of feeling in our yoni, from feeling something good, the waters that flows from our sweat when we are exercising or when we are making love, but the waters and that fire that destroys but it creates. So I just want to play the system here for the sisters and brothers that are fighting literally for the right to be beautiful, to be expressive in their own desires.
For the rebels, for the Magdalene rebels, they have been meeting and partying and revolutionizing conversation for generations, and now this rising to the surface to no longer be hiding that sacred pleasure of embodied divinity. Yes, Scorpio is Phoenix rising and the eagle soaring through alchemizing the wounds and collective shadows, Anka says. The Magdalene Revolution, Colleen Coyne says. Yes, please.
I want to invite you to, and all of you who are on this call now, so we can take 3 deep breaths and then exhale with a sound. So let us sound our Magdalene voice, and we can do this 3 times. So we honor those who were silenced too early, who did not have a chance to speak out. We give our pleasure to them now. So if you join me, let's breathe in together and out. And in together again. And out. And in together again. And out.
I would like to take this moment to invite you to stay in that space, that deep breath, allowing all of these codes to settle in through your heart down, filling the pelvic chalice, the sacred vessel of your womb, to overflowing this fountain of life. And journey with me for a very brief moment through this spiraling vortex in the dark center of the primordial space of your womb, spiraling down through the center of this alluring, fertile darkness, down, down, down into the garden of your womb, or hara, and plant all the seeds you've gathered. Feel the rain of all of this liminal Magdalene codes rain down upon your garden, nourishing the soil, allowing what you've been tending to, what has been flourishing, allowing these to be nourished, to thrive, and allowing the new seeds to take root, to germinate, nourishing the soil to the seeds you've just planted in this protective cocoon of darkness, moisture, anchoring codes of life and generative bliss of becoming, suffusing the landscape of your beautiful womb garden. Allow yourself to receive as you, a plant in your own garden, a rose with the dew drops sliding down your petals, clearing the channels of your being, the rose essence permeating and penetrating and singing its soft velvety codes at a very cellular level until you're humming with the vibratory resonance of these Magdalene codes, activating one after the other into a beautiful harmony. Know that you can come down into this garden at any time, visiting each one of these seeds and tending each one of these plants and flowers, and any beings that live here, any ancestors that came to visit you, you can return at any time. As you lift off back up into the vortex, back through the spiraling, whirling space of this primal matter within your womb, this portal gateway, you return, feeling these codes permeating and connecting beyond your womb garden, beyond your energy signature, to dance and sing and harmonize, attuning with the collective cosmic vibrations of all of us as one within the great holy womb, the Magdalene womb. And draw your energy back through to center in your heart womb, bringing yourself back into this moment, into this body, into this space, this physical space, as we continue this blessing way for the birth, the continual generative birthing of these Magdalene codes in this book, and all the wisdom that we all bring as embodied vessels, celebrating each of you, each of us. Fierce, feral, feminine Magdalene.
I want to say that I am so proud of each one of us for taking that pen and writing your story, for sharing, for having the courage to expose yourself to the world and offer your gifts. I feel the circle of the sturdy Magdalenes as a star that opens and is shining. You know, it's like, it's uncontrollable. Since the book is out, we have no control anymore to where it's landing, to how it's touching. And I personally watched several of your chapter readings. I couldn't do it all yet. I will, because I love watching you, what you have to say. Sometimes it's more in the energy than in the words. It's like the energy the words carry that touches us so deeply and moves us and transforms us and opens a door for our own healing, for our own awakening. So this is so beautiful, what just happened here in the year of Mary Magdalene. What a wonderful way to honor her in this, writing this book, taking, you know, the time and the courage to do it. So we've done it, and I want to congratulate us all. Thank you so much for holding space for all of us. May we keep sharing and rising and collaborating and weaving together. Thank you.
Yes, sing it out, shout it out in celebration, lifting up that energy and that voice. Thank you, Marcia, for that. Yes, so proud. And that brings me to something we spoke of when we were co-weaving this. When we are activated in this way, there's so much that rises to the surface from our life, from our ancestors, and it is up to us to do the work to weave with integrity, to continue to utilize, right, this energy in a good way for the good of all. And so we want to all take a moment to speak to that. I know Nicole wanted to also share in this part of our weaving about this, and you had other things to share. Would you like to take that space now?
To share me.
I think it's your prayer, no? The Aramaic prayer.
Okay. Well, I'm feeling just very briefly to to share, which I've talked about that before, but I feel like bringing this up again since I was listening to you speak, Marcia, and I know about the reverberations of our yes, you know, all of us, in each one of us individually, something unfolded. And for me, I find quite interesting that the day that I signed the book, I was actually attacked here, you know, in Egypt. And this is the first time in my life that, I mean, not in my life, this is the first time in 8 years traveling to Egypt that this happened. And you know, it's quite interesting because they were 3 boys, teenagers. They looked like men. It was in this dark passageway. And when I was talking one day about the story, I reflected, they were wearing a white tunic, which is a typical tunic here for the Bedouins, which are the native indigenous of this land here. Well, they're not native from Sinai, but they've been here long time. And there it's the clothes that they wear, it's white, and then they wear a turban, like a scarf, which is red and white. So the white and red rivers. And the fact that I was touched by one of them, it feels that it was very symbolic because that never happened to me before here. And the symbolism that I'm feeling, and that's what I want to name it before I do the prayer, is that I was giving an opportunity to give voice, to take action that maybe other women wouldn't do it. So I ran after them, did a whole show, screamed. If I would have caught them, I for sure would have fucked them up. I will say that out loud. But someone showed up, a man, also Bedouin, showed up and took me to houses to find out who did that. And by 30 minutes later, I was standing in the dark street with maybe 15 men, Bedouin men, again with their white tunics, speaking about me or the situation. Meanwhile, I'm in a Muslim country, you know, I'm wearing shorts, and all these men took action to find who did this to me. And right when I was coming back here to Egypt, I learned about one woman who was raped by the pyramid, and I found this in a group. And I said, you know, I shared something in the group, and then other women were saying, no, it's not possible because here no one will believe, you will have to prove. And I want to say that's not true. That's not true, because when we, and you know, to a different level, when we find the strength to go after, there will always be a sacred man that will show up, that would always be, I don't want to say always, but this is my personal experience, that would always be a hand that will support, you know, and it's so important, and it's so important that we have the courage to voice our stories, and it's so important that we have the courage to voice the unspeakable. And that's what Sekhmet has been guiding us and teaching us with the work we do with her, Diana and I, is the voice. We must to speak what is unspeakable. So with that being said, I just want to leave this short prayer just because for the time. And this prayer is in Hebrew, Aramaic, and it goes like this: I am the sacred fire, or the divine fire, divine feminine fire, and divine masculine fire. I am bliss, I am love, I am heaven on earth. So this is, I will say it in Hebrew. I don't know if that was the sharing I wanted to do. I believe so. That's what we had discussed. So let us always remember that when we are aware, we have a responsibility, and that situation that happened to me was an opportunity for me to weave something in the fabric here. And I guess we are continuously offer opportunities to trailblaze the way as Magdalenes and, women that are remembering and reclaiming our voice, our pleasure, our wisdom. So I will say it 3 times because that's the, 3, 6, or 9. So I'm going to say 3 times, and you're welcome to either close your eyes and or stay with your eyes open. You can just connect with your inner masculine and your inner feminine, with your fire and your water, with your heart and womb, with your spirit and your physicality, as I say this 3 times. Ani Isha, Ani Ish, Ani Osher, Ahava, Ani Shamayim. Ani Isha, Ani Ish, Ani Osher, Ani Ahava, Ani Shamayim. Ani Isha, Ani Ish, Ani Osher, Ahava, Ani Shamayim. Thank you.
Thank you. Allowing that to anchor. Remembering as we come to a close, the power of the dissolution that this Magdalene fire and her waters bring. We talked about the stripping down of the garments. As we anchor these codes, we prepare to listen to this beautiful song that Marcia has brought for us.
Thank you, Diana. And this is a closing song for our group and our 2 weeks of master classes and book chapter readings. So may we are send off with these pearls and these petals of the rose. I would love to do with my drum, because this is, I just wanted to show, this is a Venus drum where it has the geometry of the Venus cycle of 8 years that creates in the sky this 5 petals of the rose or of the star. I'll try with the drum. If Diana, if you feel it's not working, let me know, and then I'll stop and do just with my voice, okay?
Just do it. It'll be fine. Even if it
Okay.
goes in and out, just do it.
So
You'll feel the resonance.
every 8 years, the Venus creates this shape in the sky with the earth. And the day that there's the meeting of the same point where it started, it's called the Keys of Venus. It's like the Ouroboros. It's like the moment where this cycle ends and a new cycle begins. And I received this song on that day in June of 2020, 2 years ago, a little bit over 2 years ago. And this song talks about us working our crystals. And by crystal, we can think of the water inside of us, which is a liquid crystal that we are 70% made of. Also, the crystalline grid of our bones, the crystalline grid of earth, our crystal balls, our crystals, those we hold and we work with, so we can attune them to the energy of Venus and Sirius and the Earth and the Moon and the Sun, creating this new her story, like we say. So the music, I'm going to speak in Portuguese. I just want to give you just a brief description of what I'm singing. Is we talk about our hearts blossoming with the rose that is opening now, when we combine and we pair masculine and feminine energy, creating love. And thus we seed the seeds of a new tomorrow, a new earth of peace, of joy, of blessings and showers of the Mary, Mother Mary. And when we unite, we find this sacred union within, heaven and earth, water and fire within. We start vibrating this powerful love and awakening the loving power within us. And then the rose opens and change the geometry inside of myself, replacing past wounds and with love, harmony, and a new geometry. We are being guided by the ancient ones, the grandmothers of this earth, the moons, and they are holders of this memory, and they strengthen the sisterhood when they deliver truth to the earth. And in the water is where this memory is contained of this ancient wisdom. So may we tune our wombs and hearts to the Sophia's song, to the Sophia's call. And this is the return of the feminine, restoring the throne of love. Mary Magdalene goes ahead, showing us the way, and we are rooting this into the earth and expanding our own world. So sacred union is set, is sowed, and the paths of a new tomorrow. We are, the seeds of love are planted, and we are chalice, we are ruby chalice, we are sacred. So these are the words, and I thank you so much for this opportunity to share this song here. It's very dear to my heart. Os cristais nós vamos trabalhar com a força de Vênus no céu. Com Sírios estão a guiar os caminhos deste despertar. Lua, Sol, Terra, Vênus, cristal, corações a desabrochar. Nossas plantas vêm nos ancorar e as conchas para nos lembrar que é com a força feminina que nós vamos unir e curar, que é com a força feminina que nós vamos unir e curar. Madalena é quem vai na frente, renascida no trono do amor. O amor é o poder feminino, aliado com essa doce e sagrada união. Terra e céu, água e fogo aqui dentro, vou vibrando esse amor poderoso, despertando o poder amoroso, e a rosa se abre em mim, vai mudando a geometria no lugar de feridas passadas, vai criando amor e harmonia. Vou reescrevendo a história, vou guiada pelas anciãs que guardaram o original e sustentam a linhagem ancestral. As sementes de amor vêm na sagrada frequência estelar, entregando à terra a verdade, fortalecendo a irmandade. É na água que está a memória da antiga sabedoria. Sintonize seu ventre, seu vara, com o chamado de Sofia. É o resgate do feminino, restaurando o trono do amor. Vai enraizando na terra, expandindo o seu valor. A sagrada união está firmada e os caminhos de um novo amanhã. As sementes de amor estão plantadas. Eu sou cálice rubi, sou sagrada. Eu sou cálice rubi, sou sagrada. I am a ruby chalice, I'm sacred. Thank you. And to honor our teachers, I would also like to say Maria 3 times. This is a song that was received by our teacher, Dr. Azra Bertrand in France, as they were doing the pilgrimage of Mary Magdalene with many students in 2016 or 17, I believe. Maria, Thank you. And if you have an essential oil, now is the perfect moment that we anoint and bless ourselves and thank ourselves for this great work that we did together, and also seal these places of power within our body. So if you take a few drops on your hands, I like to do it, receive with my left hand and then take with my right hand and bless our third eye, front and back, in the back of our neck, at the root of our hair, our alta major, our feminine portal to our feminine consciousness, our cerebellum. So we bless and anoint ourselves. So may we have clarity, receive wisdom, and are able to see beyond the veil and bring these teachings for ourselves and our world. We bless our throat so we may express in our highest and best, in our truth. We express the love that we are. We anoint our sacred hearts, making circles here to open, to flower, to flourish, to stand in the scales of Ma'at, light as a feather. We take a little bit more of the oil and anoint our wombs and haras, so we may create heaven on earth. We may create beauty, joy, bliss, the ecstatic pleasure. We may create liberation, disruption when necessary. We may have strong force to attract and create what is needed moment by moment. And then last but not least, we anoint our feet. So may we walk this earth carrying the Magdalene essence, her frequency, her medicine, her love. And then we can rub our hands together and smell this amazing fragrance. And be grateful for all that is. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all, our sister co-authors, Kiva Publishing and team, and founder Shannon Vandenberg. Thank you. Thank you for all the readers, all of you men and women who carry these codes and walk this walk of integrity, raising your voice and sharing your vibration with the world for life to thrive. Thank you. And so we bless this birth of Magdalene Codes, divine feminine frequency keepers who liberate and disrupt. Thank you for joining us for this closing ceremony.
You close this container by just thanking all the support that we have received in this closing ceremony and throughout our journey of writing and birthing this book. So I just invite you to take a moment again to just feel into the land where you are. Just feeling into the ground below that holds you, your ancestors, the ancestors of the land, all the benevolent beings that have walked with you, that have walked with us, that have held us today in this closing blessing ceremony. We thank you, we honor you.
We celebrate with an uproarious, joyful laughter. And you know, I just want to share, this was given to me years ago by someone who brought it back from Brazil, from John Divine, this crystal. This to me looks like a lingam. So thank you.
Yes, I was just gonna say, I see a lingam.
Activating these crystal codes with your song. Thank you.
Oh, wonderful. And so don't forget to drink your water as well, or share with your kids or with the earth.
Yes, and your plants and with your, thank you. Thank you, everyone. I look forward to what life brings and unfolds. Please share in the comments and continue to visit us in this publishing vortex, as I know I will be reviewing and watching the lives that I've missed. And so keep coming back and sharing your transmissions, your impressions, your Magdalene codes. Thank you. Thank you for being here with us today. Many blessings, abundant blessings.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.